Good morning, everyone. I am Shiela Mae Pantillo, a dialysis nurse for almost 7 years and still counting. Nowadays, we're often called frontliners, and this frontliner will share a piece of my journey during this pandemic. I'll start by asking, does any one of you tried of wearing a PPE? Or a protective personal equipment, or you have seen one, or do you have any idea what it feels like inside it? Because for me, definitely I do. And I tell all of you that it's not fun to try one. A PPE is composed of an overall kind of suit covering your whole body that makes you sweat and feel uncomfortable inside it. This also comes with the N95 face mask that fits your respiratory entrance and exit, which is your nose and mouth. This could sometimes lead the medical practitioners to feel difficulty of breathing when used for quite some time. Last but not the least, the face shield and gloves that makes a basic PPE complete, or should I say, the outfit of the day. Wearing such things make me feel that I am an astronaut, going outside the world, fighting for aliens, kidding aside. However, behind my PPE and inside my heart are the worst feeling kept within. Fear, anxiety, worries are there that can lead even a person to depression. I am always anxious because as I fear the patients, I never know what will happen and that one day I will become infected and might end up losing my life too. I will give one situation. This was during my shift at 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. This was a very toxic day. We have 3 patients on deck for dialysis. I was the team leader that time. Everyone want them has a specific treatment to be done. With my team, we also have an ICU patient who needed the dialysis immediately. The patient needed blood transfusion and dopamine drips to provide the blood pressure to be increased. However, there was some problem with another patient because the dialysis machine kept on alarming due to a catheter access problem. One could just imagine the pressure that is given me to become the team leader at that time. Suddenly, in the middle of this mess, I received a phone call from my head nurse. He asked me if I remember a particular patient during the past week. As my head nurse described to me the patient, I was slowly remembered by the patient. I realized I was the one who ministered to the patient. Upon realizing, my heart began to beat fast. I feel my adrenaline hormone bursting into my brain, telling me that there might be something wrong with the patient. Then my head nurse added that the patient will be transferred to a government hospital for further investigation. They had seen signs and symptoms of the virus COVID-19. At that moment, everything started to move slowly, as if slow motion really. As I remembered, I can't hear anything. I only heard the cardiac monitor having a systole for quite some time, or called a flatline that sounded like toot. Everything went dirt for the first time in my life. I began to absorb all the negative feelings which made my heart heavier again. Fear, Anxiety, paranoia occupied my brain cells. It took me a couple of minutes to go back to reality. I realized that I was unconsciously saying yes to my head nurse, though I didn't understand what he was saying. I was overwhelmed of what would happen next. The first person who came into my head was my senior citizen mother. I asked, how will I supposed to tell her my situation? I was so scared to go home, thinking that I should be the healthcare provider, but now I might be the carrier of the virus and might infect my own mother. As I reached home and cleaned up myself, I told my mother if she can go to my brother and live with him at Buhangin. And I stayed there for some day. I didn't want to tell her the reason for asking her to do that. I didn't want her to be worried for me. But then she refused. I tried to make things clearer for her just to make her say yes to transfer. But again, she said no. So I told her the truth, that she needed to get away from me because I'll do a personal isolation to myself for several days, just to make sure that I myself is not a carrier of the virus. However, still my mother said no. What do you expect from a mother who is also worried for her daughter? This made me more irritated and frustrated. Without noticing, my voice became loud as if I was already shouting at my mom, hoping she could at least understand my frustration. But what struck me most was what she said and did. My mom sat down and held the rosary and told me, "My child, we will pray and continue to pray." Our Mother Perpetual Help always listen and never leaves your side. Have you forgotten that you were once far away from us for 4 years as an OFW, but never she abandoned you? She keep you safe until this day. At that moment, I felt a pail of cold water splashed over me. Removing worries, anxiety, and paranoia, I told myself, why on earth should I be worried when in the first place she chooses me to serve the people? God gave me this gift, being a skillful nurse to help the sick. This made me burst into tears, and as I prayed, I offer everything to you, Lord. Through you, our Mother of Perpetual Help, you help me to lift all my burdens in life. With you, I feel that no matter what happens, you will never abandon me. Amen. Amen. This has been my prayer as I counted the days of my self-isolation. With my mom, we continued to pray the rosary, and I asked the intercession of Mary. At last, we got the results of the patient, and it was negative. Those fears and anxiety were over. It was the answered prayer we're all waiting for. As you people can see right now, until the days ahead, I will promise to be here standing and serving as a nurse, as a frontliner. I will continue to help and save lives, as what our Mother of Perpetual Help inspired me to be. Amen.